Friends, Indians, countrymen, lend me your ears. And in addition, I ask you to lend me something that's even rarer and far more important for today. And that's your curiosity. Because I have questions which could be quite uncomfortable for us, the Gen Zs. When was the last time you didn't Google something you didn't know almost immediately? Or how long can you stay away from your phones? When was the last time you lingered on deep thinking or confusion on a subject rather than taking the aid of AIs or apps almost instantly? See? The silence that echoes here is the exact same thing I am looking for, as this particular moment used to be a cradle for ideas and innovation. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aaditya Joshi, and I'm here to talk about what happened to that silence. Where did the stream of curiosity dry up? And what might happen if we are unsuccessful in bringing it back in our lives? So the silence I was talking about is not mere oblivion. That denotes deep and critical thinking. Remember that silence has the power to give birth to a random thought in our minds, and it could be as wild as possible. But if you sit with it, question it, reason with it, and construct upon it, it might turn out to be something impactful and meaningful. Ancient Greeks, lovely people by the way, had a beautiful word for this process. They called it Noesis, which is my central idea for today. And to provide you more clarity on this term, let me give you some historical context. Socrates, the father of philosophy, publicly used to say that I know nothing. Despite having such brilliance of thoughts and such profound knowledge, that learned man said his mind is empty. He used to sit by himself all day long and just ask questions, some too childish, some meaningful. But each time a question was raised in his mind, he realized something new, as if new doors had been opened for him. He used to continue the same exercise with his pupils and kept asking them questions and questions and questions until their minds woke up and led to insight. You know, he could have just lectured those poor souls and they in turn could have understood the message he tried to convey. But no. He wanted them to understand and experience the learning process itself so that whatever they learn sticks with them for lifelong. And then came Plato, who also agreed to this and argued that knowledge is not for mere memorization. You know, facts will remain facts until you attach meaning to it and realize it. So, learning according to him was not rote learning, but more of a meaning-making process. And finally came Aristotle, who clubbed all these processes and termed it nous, the highest power of the human mind. He focused not just on insight, but also on contemplations of the mind, self-reflection, and the individual quest for truth, knowledge, and reason. All these pioneers weren't afraid to be confused. Instead, they invited confusion and complexity. Curiosity here wasn't punished. Rather, it was rewarded. They thought slowly and kept questioning until they found a reason. Reason behind truth, facts, reality, and basically everything. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Noesis. But let me tell you that Noesis isn't just reasoning. It means so much more. It leads your mind to a mirror which reflects everything about you, where you can see yourself clearly. And when you do that, it makes you self-aware, it leads to better decision, it makes you an educated citizen since you don't just follow rules blindly, but also know the reason behind them. But most importantly, Noesis allowed our minds to innovate. Sitting idle can make you ponder upon a lot of things. And somewhere in that train of thoughts, you might recognize a problem in the society. And when you focus on that particular aspect, you might as well stumble across the solution to that problem. And there you have the answers. We call it innovation. And I'm pretty sure all of you must have had creative ideas either in shower or at bedtime, no? And that's because we humans tend to enjoy the company of our own thoughts. Great minds in the past had these innovations which changed the world dynamically. Where writing and documenting was once feared, manuscripts took over. And soon came the printing press in 1455, the invention of radios and TVs with the rise of 20th century, And none of us would believe in the idea that gadgets like mobiles and TVs existed had we been living in the Middle Ages. And forget about that. Anyone living in the 60s or 70s eras would laugh at the idea of Netflix, because back then they were still accustomed to going to theaters for watching movies. But Noesis occurred and breakthroughs kept happening. Which brings us to our current generation, the digital age. It's a time where life is unimaginable without mobile phones. Every answer you seek is just at the tip of your fingers. And of course, AI, the greatest human invention till now. This is the height of innovation, where answers today have become almost instant. Efforts become minimal, mind exercises less, confusions are avoided, dilemmas are skipped, and needs are gratified almost immediately. It's great, truly commendable, has made our life easy. But where does the problem lie? Ask yourself that in this digital age, is curiosity really thriving? Do we ask enough questions and stay with them? Do we spend time with ourselves and reflect on ourselves or take a pause? Unfortunately, no. The problem is not technology itself, but the way we use it. What I mean to say is that humans have now become less patient and don't have time to dedicate to their minds. And so, somewhere between the notification on our phones and the digital content we consume, we humans have lost the ability to think critically. And so, ladies and gentlemen, noesis is diminishing. Am I accusing mankind? No. Am I saying all this without facts? Absolutely not. Well, science and psychology support me there. Studies have shown recently that there has been a significant decline in the sustained attention in people, which means that people nowadays can't focus on any one particular thing for long and can be easily distracted. The problem is not with our individual capabilities or that the minds got weaker day by day. Absolutely not. The problem is that our cognition is being affected greatly and interrupted by technology. Take, for example, a kid studies with his phone nearby. A single notification chimes on the phone and the book drops off the hand. Boom, there goes your attention. And notifications are to be blamed for it. And it does not just do only that, it hampers something else too. You see, our brain has a system called the default mode network, which gets activated during rest, daydreaming, reflecting on the self, or mind wandering. It not just gives creativity a boost, but also helps us to make better decisions and active memory recall. But all these processes happen only when you're resting or taking a break. But technology doesn't leave us humans, does it? Because we are always found scrolling on the screens, surfing the net, engaging with the digital content, and so on. And that kills our time. That kills our creativity. And thus, noesis is diminished by notifications. And not just that, it gets worse. The usage of AI and search engines have lost the ability for us to think critically, you know. The search engines right now present us the answers the exact same manner we look for, and we copy paste it without using our brain. Instead of questioning more, we just follow the things we borrow from the internet without using our own minds. That's what AI does. And moreover, copying the answers in the same exact fashion without even refining it chokes our creativity. Now, to make it clear, I am not anti-AI. Almost all prominent world personalities publicly praise AI today, and so do I. It's truly great. But the thing is, we do not guide it properly. We never question its credibility, and we never ask it to refine the responses. And so, ladies and gentlemen, AI and technology is a threat for us. And the problem is that noesis now is halted because what it needed to survive has been blocked by technology. Noetics required time, space, solitude, silence, and curiosity, all of which is gone now. It's not like citizens are less intelligent today. They are absolutely informed, but they have rather remained as passive consumers of content rather than actively engaging with it. And so, we are raising a generation which knows how to seek the answers, but is slowly forgetting how to stay with the questions. But is acknowledging the problem only solution for it? No, right? How do we combat this enemy of intellect? Well, I have good news, and trust me, ladies and gentlemen, these solutions are simple, tried, and trusted. So, I welcome you to the world of mine, the world of quizzing. Quiz can be a great tool for noetics, and we don't even know it. Most of the people here would believe quizzes are boring, they are just for memorizing facts, and they are very time-taking, no? But that's partially true. Quizzes have great powers and can be a great gym for curiosity in our minds. You see, whenever you learn a fact, you actively try to construct more knowledge upon it, and psychology also says that. Take, for example, we know that New Delhi is the capital of India, right? Now, we also know that Red Fort is situated in New Delhi. Now, to put it all up, New Delhi is the capital of India, Red Fort is situated in New Delhi, Red Fort was built by Shah Jahan, Shah Jahan belonged to Mughal dynasty, and Mughal dynasty was founded by Babur. Now, that's a whole chain of facts. And now, when you ask a question as a quiz master that, who founded the dynasty which oversaw the construction of Red Fort? There you go. You have the answer through linking. And that's exactly what a quiz does and ignites your metacognition. And not to forget, quiz gives you the courage to say that I don't know, which is the Socratic method to gain even more knowledge and insight. And not to forget that quiz helps you to develop an ability to think critically under extreme and stressful situations. And it has such benefits and such powers for noetics that I can't even tell you. But there's one thing that I can tell for sure, that if you follow the passion for quizzing, it might as well gain you nationwide recognition. You all must have heard of KBC, Kaun Banega Karodpati, which is India's biggest television quiz show. Well, I also had a dream once to be there. And thankfully, it got true this year. But in order to be there on the hot seat, I had to embark on my own quizzing journey back in 2015, which started with local level quizzes. So when I can, why can't you all? And not to forget that quizzing is not alone. It's aided by books and literature. You see, literature has the power to build an entire virtual world inside our minds. It's full of creativity, anticipation, and curiosity. All great things required for Noesis, and it's lovely to stay in that world. Raise your hands, how many of you read fiction and enjoy it? Fiction lovers? See, most of the crowd here enjoys fiction, and that's a great habit, ladies and gentlemen. Continue pursuing it. It's a great tool for noetics, and again, it does not come alone. It is also supported by art, music, and poetry. Trust me, wherever emotions flow, creativity follows in. And the biggest problems of the mankind have been best expressed through art, poetry, and literature. So all these processes help you unleash your inner child and explore creativity in the wildest ways possible and allows room for noesis. But all these can be nurtured best by nature. Taking a quiet walk in the park, or sitting by the riverside, or sleeping under the stars, all these activities do not just help us relax, but also activates the default mode network, which I explained earlier was crucial for noesis, leads you to mind wandering. And that is Mother Nature for you and the best gift from God to us. But the best gift you can give to yourself is dedicating time to your own mind. You could spend few minutes of your day by yourself celebrating your life and do nothing. No phones, no movement, nothing. Just you and your thoughts. And follow 5-star tagline that says, "Kabhi kuch nahi karke bhi to dekho," because that is self-love for you and a great cradle for noesis. And as we move towards the conclusion of our talk, I want to present two different possibilities for you all, two different futures. We know where do we come from, but do we know where are we going? Well, there's a future A, where we are incredibly fast and informed. We truly know it all. We have basically access to everything we need, but with our minds completely shallow. We know everything, but understand very little. We have facts in front of us, but lack the reason behind them. We outsource our thinking from AIs and search engines, and hence become the slaves of it. And then there's a future B, where we use technology but don't just surrender to it. We harness the power of technology to reclaim what was originally ours, curiosity and creativity. The difference between these futures is not our intelligence level, but the way we use our technology. And so the onus is on you, ladies and gentlemen, and you must choose. To come to think of it, I would not have been able to deliver a talk on Noesis had my own Noesis not been working. So, keep the thirst for knowledge alive, ladies and gentlemen, and please, please think. So next time you don't know something, just take a back seat, relax, sit with that question, embrace the pause, and relish the silence. Because in that silence, thinking begins again. Thank you.